Good morning, good evening. Hello, everybody. I totally lost track of the time. It is cold here, and I was sitting out in the sun, and my phone was in another room, and I was just enjoying the sun. And then I've sort of like looked up at the time and just went, oh my God, it came running in. Luckily, when I first get up in the morning, I set everything up in here and I try and get everything ready to go. So all I had to do was like hit the starting soon button and off we went. But I've just grabbed one project. I've got a few around the room, and I'm just like, I'm a bit disheveled. Sorry. So yeah, so I just came like running in. Good morning to everybody. Lots of people in the chat before I got in, so that is great. Lots of chats with each other. I'm glad to hear that everything, well, not everything, like everything is positive so far, Vanfia. So we'll see how you go with all of that. And Kerry, I'm not going to talk softly, but you can turn the volume down. Okay, how does that sound? You win a gold medal for crafting. Yeah, I just came sort of like scurrying in. But yeah, I'm like, do I have a blanket handy? I do. There's one there. So I'll pull that over my lap in a minute. But because I did remember to turn the heat off. Okay, I did remember to turn the heat off in here before the stream started. But one thing I'll say is the heat has been on in here for over an hour and the camera on, and the camera didn't turn off. What does that say? What does that say? I don't know. Anyway, okay, so today here in Australia, it is the 1st of August, meaning it is the first Thursday of the month. If you are local, if you are in Brisbane or the southeast corner of Queensland, and you can get yourself to the Logan IKEA, we meet up there the first and third Thursdays of the month. So come in, come and say hi. We just hang out up in the food cafeteria area and we sit there and craft. We grab some IKEA dinner if that's what we want, or just a coffee or a hot chocolate if they've got it. And we just sit there and craft until they boot us at about 8:30. So we're there from around 6-ish to around 8:30. I know some of you get there a bit earlier, but I aim for 6. And I'll see you all there. I want to say a massive thank you to Bianca, who's going to pick me up and take me tonight, because my husband has the car for his stuff for something he's got to go out and do. So I really appreciate Bianca coming and getting me so I don't have to miss out. We do have a Facebook. No, maybe we don't have one for the end of the month, but we'll make sure there's one there. I'll double check that. I'm like, do I? An event for the Kawanda Cafe on the last Saturday of the month. Now, I won't be there, but that is okay, because there is a ton of brilliant, amazing, wonderful crafting ladies who will be there. So just because I can't go, I'm going to be super jelly. I'm going to be sitting on a plane, being all squished by people and people touching me, and you guys know how much I love that. So I hope that that will be amazing as well. Bub Curran has made it. It's so good to see you, Bub, and nice and early as well. Red Hooked is here. Great to see you. Home Rapid Repair has made it. Bianca is here. Thank you, Bianca. Kelly Pole and Leanne are mods in the house today. And Jackie Doyle is here as well. Hello, Jackie. Also a trusted moderator of the channel and good friend as well. So I cannot believe it's been a whole week. I was sort of putting together timesheets for work, and I was just like, I can't believe the month is over. Like, I just cannot believe the month is over. I've been working for my new employers now for about a month, which is so exciting. So yeah, no ads today. Really? That's interesting. Like, so when you jumped into the stream, you didn't get an ad? That's cool. Like, that's awesome. So YouTube don't always serve you an ad. And that's the thing. Like, if you've just recently watched a video and you've been served an ad, you may not get another ad, or sometimes you will. I have no idea their logic of why and how they get ads, and how they put ads in and how they decide what's a good ad for the audience. Sometimes I'll sit there watching an ad for a channel. I'll be thinking, I have no idea why I've been served this ad. Holy cow, this is so far from anything I would ever actually be interested in. Jackie is laughing because she is not because I'm trusted. Yes. Knitspin Girl says, I haven't had any ads on your channel for months. There you go. Well, I am monetized and ads do run. I did see a few people here got ads. I personally don't get ads because I watch on my premium account, so I don't actually get any ads. And the people I watch just get a share of that premium money. So yeah, I don't understand how it all works. So sometimes you get them, sometimes you don't. Sounds like Knitspin Girls just doesn't get them. All right, I've gone full beverage goblin today. I have what is this? French Earl Grey, coffee from the coffee machine. Get down. And just some still water. So I've got all the beverages. I've checked the temperature on the tea. The tea won't burn my face off. Let's see what happens with the coffee. Coffee doesn't usually. Coffee is good. What have you got in your cups? Let me know. Lots of people who do get ads. Oh, Francis. Okay, so when you sign up for ad skippers, that doesn't mean that YouTube won't serve you ads. It means that I won't be offended if you hit skip on the ad, which means if you skip an ad, the creator you're watching doesn't actually earn any income. They only earn income if the ad is suitable to you and you actually watch it. So please don't watch ads that you're not interested in. So, but if an ad is interesting and you do find it interesting, that's fine. But the ad skippers is not, I can't control whether or not YouTube put an ad in front of you or not. But what I'm saying is when you sign up for the ad skippers, that $1.50 a month or whatever it is that you pay for that, just click skip on the ad. And that's what that is. Okay, let's see. Bub's got coffee. Kerry's got extra strong cappuccino. Kerry, is that because you have a hangover? See, for me, I need the grease. I need the bacon. I need the grease. I need the orange juice, but not too strong an orange juice because then it's just worse. Bianca didn't realize that. What didn't you realize? Sorry, Bianca. We've run over a couple of things. Tea for Deb. That is awesome. So August is my birthday month. And first cab off the rank with the old birthday promotional stuff was Zarafas. So yeah, it's I've got a free coffee coming or a free tall beverage, whatever, I choose, coffee, tea, whatever. So yeah. Oh, yeah. And that's just how it always is. If you are on YouTube and you hit skip ad after that 5 seconds, the creator gets nothing. So, yeah. But in saying that, I don't want anyone watching ads because that's like if I say, hey, please watch the ads to support the channel or some rubbish like that. I've learned that that's actually against YouTube's terms of service, so I can't say that either. But if the ad is interesting to you and you watch it, that's cool because that also means YouTube will serve you more ads that are relevant to you, and it helps with your viewer experience. So, but yeah, it's one of those things. The ad thing is so weird, honestly. Red Hooked has got water because it's bedtime in a couple of hours. Fair enough. I want bacon now, honestly. I had my Carmen's high protein porridge, which is a little on the, I'm going to say it's a little on the bland side. It doesn't taste bad. It's fine, but it's just a little on the bland side. It could use a little something. Sometimes I'll slice up a banana into it, but I didn't have it. I'm out of bananas. So there's no bananas to slice into it to make it more interesting. I just had the porridge, which for those of you in the US is like oatmeal except less sweet, which I'm going to be testing out. While I'm in the US, I'm going to see if I can get my hands on some oatmeal. And so if you are here in the chat and you're in the US and there is American food you think I should try while I'm in America for about a week. If there is food you think I should try, so I will be in Dallas, Texas for a week. Let me know. I don't think I'll be able to try everything, but there are definitely some things on my list of things that I'd like to try. I have frozen fruit in the freezer for flavoring oatmeal. See, I don't like frozen. I only like banana in my oatmeal. So, and I don't have any frozen banana. So, we've got frozen strawberries, which I do not like using in anything that's warmed up. They just go watery. The only good thing for a frozen strawberry is into a smoothie. The frozen dark berries is amazing. Especially being able to get frozen cherries. Oh my gosh. Frozen cherries in your porridge is unbelievable. Leanne says, because you need to save the bananas to have with your coffee. No. You know what? I agree with this statement. Porridge isn't bad, but it isn't bacon, which I also now want. So yeah, okay. Let me know in the chat how many of you actually now want bacon now that I've mentioned it. Just out of curiosity. My porridge has almonds already in it, but I think it could use something a bit more. I think it could use some coconut flakes. Maybe I could do that. Oh, Francis. Yeah, absolutely. The frozen dark berry mix is so good. If you're in Australia and you go into the frozen food section where all the frozen fruits are, it's not always available, but when it is, I always grab a bag. If I could buy just a bag of frozen blueberries and cherries, I would get that. I would just get blueberries and cherries. Because I'm not a biggest fan of some of the other ones, but that's what I like. Yeah, bacon. Bub puts cranberries with her porridge. Oh, I haven't tried cranberries. Is that fresh or frozen or dried? Because I know you can get dried cranberries as well. I'm always up to try some stuff. I like pear, but it has to be the effect softness, and I prefer no skin with porridge. I like pear, but it has to be the effect, the correct softness, and you prefer no skin. Is that right? Shannon says that the Bob's Red Mills oatmeal is a really good one to try here. Now my question is, I'm going to be in a hotel room, so I've got to be able to either microwave it or pick it up somewhere to eat it or, you know, it already be made somewhere and I go out for breakfast and pick it up. So they're my only choice. Oh, we've got Louie in the house. Louie's just rocked in. Hello, Louie. Welcome to the live stream. Just, you know, don't do anything gross because you're on camera. I'm just saying. Toasted bacon, egg, and cheese roll with barbecue sauce. See, now I want that. I was actually thinking the other day, it's been a really long time since I've had a breakfast burrito. So I like a nice big wrap with scrambled eggs and bacon and sausage, barbecue sauce, a bit of cheese, salt and pepper, and roll it up. That sounds, man, why are we talking about food this early into the stream? This is going to be so bad later. It's going to be so bad. Okay. Oh, he has an instant one. Oh, good. I'll definitely check out a store because I'll need to buy some bottled water and I want to grab some like other stuff like snacks and things. Because I don't want to be having to just, you know, I want some stuff in my bag so that I don't have to be hitting up. There's a cafe at the convention center and you know, I've got a task to perform. So I'll be at a desk a lot of the time. And if I get super hungry, which is really bad if I do because I rarely get hungry, but when I do, I'm ravenous. I want to be able to make sure I've got something that I've thought about. That's not just a packet of chips or something. I want something that's, you know, that I won't feel guilty about later. So therefore I can have like a guilt-free evil dinner or lunch or dessert or something. So if I've thought about my snacks, this is the thing. If I thought about my snacks and planned some snacks, then I can feel less guilt about everything else. Oh my gosh, yes. This chat is dangerous already. Yeah, I wasn't hungry when I sat down. That's right, Dolores. And you know what? I'm not actually hungry at all because I just had porridge. I just don't know how we got onto this. Oh my gosh. Will you take a project? Yes, moving on. What are you working on, Chantelle? And will you take a project for the flight? Now, I'm tossing up what to do. With the flight project. So what I'm thinking is I'm going to find 2 projects, right? I'm going to take some yarn, needles and a hook. And oh yeah, it is Kerry's fault. You're so right, Francis. It's Kerry's fault because we're talking about hangover cures, and then that's how I got into bacon, and then thank you, Kerry. It's your fault. But yeah, so because you never know, like while the companies in their upper level echelons go, yes, you can take knitting needles and crochet hooks, it's no problems. It's going to depend on the security on the ground on the day. And so what I'll be taking is a hook and some needles, and whatever I get through security, I'll choose. Now, if both get through security, I'll choose both. So what I need to do is I need to choose a crochet and a knit pattern that uses the same yarn, so that whichever way I go, I can go. But I will also be taking some saver with me. So the saver, you know, some of this guy, so that if on the way home and I haven't finished the project or whatever it is, and you know, because I'm on multiple flights, so I'm on a flight from Brisbane to Sydney domestic, and then Sydney to Dallas international, but then I'll be doing the same coming home. So I will bring some saver just in case I'm working on a knit project and they make me ditch my needles. So that's as far as I've gotten. I haven't actually chosen which projects or which yarn or anything. So, I mean, and the other thing is what I'll do is I'm going to be using probably these hooks because I can buy them individually. The dots are cheaper for sure, and I do like them, but I have to buy the whole set. I can't just buy the one. So I'm thinking just to bring a clover or more. They're readily available. I will be hitting some Dallas yarn stores. So, you know, I'll definitely be able to do that. And I do have some time before the event. So as long as, you know, my jet lag doesn't trash me for 3 days. I arrive on Saturday night and my first work commitment is Tuesday morning. So I've got Sunday and Monday to really get over everything. So hopefully it's enough. Yeah, because I get in Saturday afternoon. So I've got Saturday night and Sunday night, and then all of Monday, and then Tuesday morning I start bright and early. But yeah, it's definitely a concern, you know, what I take and what I'm willing to lose. So knitting needles wise, I think I will be taking some interchangeables, probably Knit Pros rather than Chowgoos, just because that again, more readily available around the shops. So if something happens, I can replace it easier. So yeah, there'll be a bit of that going on, and then I'll be packing some stuff into my luggage, so that's fine. But it's just the stuff that I'm taking for carry on that I'm concerned about. So and you know, it'll probably be a case of everything goes through fine, and then I have to choose which one of the projects I'm going to do, and then sit there for half the flight going oh and dithering, and not doing anything. I've been keeping an eye on the seats around me on the flights, and it's slowly filling in, and I'm getting nervous. I'm really hoping there is just an empty seat next to me, which is very unlikely, but possible. It could be possible. So yeah. Definitely. Leanne says a project may give you comfort of a nighttime if you're not sleepy in the room. Yeah, because like while I'd be happy to go out and about during the day by myself, I'm not sure. I don't think I'd be quite so comfortable at night in an unusual. I don't even like going out in Sydney or even in Brisbane by myself at night. If I don't know where I'm going, like if I know exactly where I'm going, no problems. But if I'm like just wandering, I don't always think that's the best idea. So yeah, a fruit bar and a fruit and muesli bars for snacks. Yeah, I'll have to. This is the thing. I'll have to have a look and see what I've got options for. And Bianca says, don't forget that security in the US are allowed to take your phone away to check it over and ask you to log into apps on your phone. Okay. They're going to see a lot of dog and cat photos and yarn. Yeah. And screenshots of the temperature in Brisbane. There's a lot of that going on. Because it was negative degrees again this morning when I woke up. I do not like this. I think it needs to stop. My house is not built for it. It's not built for it. Knit Spin Girls, you can, like Knit Spin Girls suggested here, they've taken the printout that allows the needles. I've seen people take that and still have their needles taken away. It makes no difference. So, you know, sometimes it's just a case of it really comes down to the security on the day, and you just have to be willing to just go with the flow. And that stresses me out on like I think it's a 16-hour flight. And yeah, I don't like the idea of it at all. Admittedly, I'm very good at sleeping on planes. So hopefully I'll be able to just, you know, take up some of my time with naps. So that will be cool. But yeah, but unfortunately, I'm showing them the you know, that Qantas says it's allowed, because I'm flying with Qantas. So Qantas says that it's allowed doesn't necessarily mean it's much of, you know, means anything really. Travel around, Susie, great to see you. You haven't missed much. I was a little bit late this morning. It's all good. Oh, Shannon, yes, I am looking forward to being warm again. But then I'll be looking forward to coming back home to spring temperatures, because I don't like being warm for too long. I'm like, I hate the cold. I also hate the heat. I am like a spring autumn person. I like those more moderate temperatures without like the crazy thunderstorms and the humidity and the freezing. And if I could just live in 20 degrees with mid-level humidity the whole time, I'd take that. Thanks. 20 degrees C. What's that in Fahrenheit? Let me look. 20 C to Fahrenheit is 68. 68F. I would happily live at 68F all year round. That would make me happy. I could deal with that. Yeah. But like, I'm not enjoying stuff at the moment. Oh, that's too cold for you. Yeah. No, 20 is great. I love 20. 20 to 24. I'm up for that. Anything over 24 and I'm starting to be like, I don't like this. This is too warm. Jackie says, I think you'll have less problems in Australia. I've been through Hobart, Melbourne, Sydney and Brisbane airports in recent times. I had no issues at all. Look, I'm hearing most people are not having any problems. Like 95% of people are not having any problems. But, you know, there's that 5% who are. And so, you know, just trying to... I personally have very bad luck. So if someone's going to get pulled up, it'll be me. It'll be me. So, yeah. Now, I'll show you where I'm up to on my lacy top. I did have to do some pulling back, so I've just got to make all the yarn tidy so I can sort that out. Where's that tail coming from? There it is. All right. We are well and truly into the second ball here. I was going to wind the third ball today so I could start the back, but I didn't. I got sucked into sitting on a nice, warm, comfy chair and did not do any of the things. Practice your non-guilty face. I don't think I have a non-guilty face. All right, let's have a look here. I haven't checked this camera, so let us check the camera. Let's see if we can zoom out a little, even just temporarily. Zooming out. There we go. All right, so you can see Louise Littlefoot. Hello, Louise Littlefoot. All right. So we've got like, you know, the half of a sleeve. I'm thinking I want, like, the pattern only gives you 3 repeats for the sleeve. My arms are big, guys. They're big. So I've already done 4, but I'm seriously contemplating a 5th. But in saying that, I think it's a drop shoulder. I'm not sure if you go all the way to here when you're seaming. I mean, you probably do. I mean, that would make sense, right? That would make sense. But yeah, it's I just think I would feel more comfortable. But in saying that, I'm going to end up with a little bit of a scoop neck, I think, because there'll be extra fabric here that I don't need on my arms. Does that make any... I don't know if that means anything. And this is the problem I have with bottom up and pieced garments. I can't try it on as I go, and it's stressing me out. So, but this is where it's at. Like I'm happy with the length of the body, and I think I'll get a little bit more, like an extra repeat or so length as it sits, and that will make me happy as well. I've got this just on the minimum length that I would be happy with, because I think I'm going to get a bit more drape. Hopefully. I'm kind of relying on drape that I may or may not get. So a little bit more drape here, and that'll sort of bring it down just to sit a little bit more, because I don't want it doesn't need to go over my hips as such. I want it to sit just on the top of my hips. So I don't want it to be too long or boxy or bulky. I just want it to cover a singlet top, so that I can have singlet and silk is what my goal is. So I've got a nice cool but dressy outfit. Does that make any sense whatsoever? So I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you think I need the extra repeat for the arms? Or is it going to be a case of I seam up the sides, but because it is a little oversized, the biggest part of my arm will probably be in this bigger section anyway. Because, you know, the measurement across from here to here is much narrower. That'd be handy if I had a tape measure handy. I could actually measure that. Oh my goodness! Oh, look, I don't have a clothing measure, but I've been measuring some furniture. So let's just see. Oops. Shoulder point to shoulder point. It's rough. We've got 18 inches. So half of 18 is 9. So we'll fold it in the middle, find 9 and go from there. It's rough, okay? Like, I get it. It's rough, all right? Like, I know that it's not ideal, but let's just go with me, okay? Let's just go with me. All right, so we want to go 9-ish. Oh, that's convenient. That's right where there. Do I have a stitch marker? No, I don't. So 9 is in this loop here. All right, let's... Oh, like, do I have a stitch marker? No. I only have an entire... Oh, I thought I had an entire bag full. Where's my stitch markers if they're not in here? Oh, there's a couple. Look, there's a few. Emergency stitch markers. Okay, let's have a look here. So 9 inches is here. And... Give it the extra stitch just in case. Alrighty, move that aside. Okay, alright. Okay, so the big chunky part of my arm may actually be more in the drop shoulder section. I can live with that. Let me have a look at Practice Your Non-Guilty Face. Jackie says, I think sometimes it's your body language. Practice being confident, relaxed. No. And that's what it is, because I get onto a plane and I'm like, I'm going to miss my flight. And I'm like this ball of like energy of stress and just like, I'm going to miss my flight. Once I sit in my seat, I'm like, oh, can't miss it now. I'm on the plane. I'm not afraid of flying. I'm afraid of missing my flight. Okay. So what do you guys think? If that's where my shoulder points are, right? Because it is oversized a little bit, and I did want it to go around my, you know, the wider part of my tummy and hips without pulling, so which is why we've made it an extra couple of repeats wide. I'm just having a look here. 1, 2, 3 on that side. 1, 2, yep, 3. Okay, that's even at least. All right. So yeah, I'm thinking, I don't know. What do you guys reckon? Let me know in the chat if you're still here. Even if you're still here, I don't know if you're still here. Let me look. I got a bit nervous. So let me know in the chat. Do you think that having the wider part of my arm in this scoopy bit will mean... So Maybe I can measure that as well. Let's measure the length of the fattest part of my arm. So that's about 4 or 5 inches. Okay, so it starts to taper, right, around here. Oh, you can't see. Hang on a second, bring that over. So we start to taper the wideness section of my arm around this point here. So do you think I need the extra repeat? I don't know. Let me know in the chat, those of you that make lots of garments. Get one of those. Oh yeah, I've got collapsible water bottles. I'm all good. I'm all good. I've bought everything. I'm like, oh, that looks like a good idea. Bye. It's kind of ridiculous. Like, if anyone needs any like little 100ml storage bottles or containers or anything like, just let me know. Let me know. Bianca says, I reckon better be safe and then add the extra. Who else is with Bianca? Because that's where I'm leaning. I'm leaning to, look, I'd rather add the extra because then I can pull back if I need to. Like, what I'll do is before I stitch it together, I'll pin it together and try it on. And if it is too oversized, I can pull it back. But it's a lot harder. Shush, Leanne. Leanne says, have you got a bag to take? Yes. I may have. There's this company called Travelon. They make these fantastic little bags. If you want a link for some really great security-friendly travel bags, then let me know and I will get you a link because I've got a fantastic crossbody bag that is big enough to hold my iPad. I've got a little tiny one that just holds my phone and my wallet, and I've just ordered an in-betweeny one that'll hold just a little bit more than my phone and wallet and passport. And they're like anti-slash and you can't cut through the straps, and there's little clips to clip the zips closed, and there's all these sorts of things. Yeah, Dolores, that's the plan. That's the plan. I'll definitely pin it all together and try it on. That's the advantage of these clips. Definitely try it on before I go and join it all together. I'm just, because I am, I do have limited amount of yarn. I'm just concerned that I will run out. Like if I keep going too much, I won't have enough for the back. And then I won't be able to tie. Yeah, it's perplexifying. It's perplexifying. You can always put a band bridging the two pieces together. And that's something I could always do at the bottom here as well. Like I could always add in a row of like DC on both sides to, join it here and just add onto this section here, and just widen the sleeve out a little as well. And it will take a little length out of the body, but not by much. You know what I mean? Like, I think this under the arm would have been a better option anyway. This row of like the trebles, I think that would have been a better option for under the arm. But maybe a concern of bulk. I don't know. Can you put the front on hold and do the back and then come back to the front? Well, that's what I'm thinking, but I didn't wind the third ball of yarn, so I need to work out of this ball. Otherwise, that's exactly what I would do. Yeah, I mean, that's what I've been doing. I've been weighing this as well to make sure I don't go past the halfway mark. So where am I at? I think I had about 25 grams of space left to go on it, on the ball, because it was 98 grams for the ball. I know that there's extra yarn under the thing, but we're talking a couple of grams. Yeah, I'm at 73. So you're right. I could conceivably do the extra row, pin it rather than end it off, because this yarn's a real pain to undo if you end it off in the wrong spot. And then start that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do the extra repeat, because it's not one extra row. We're talking about a whole extra repeat. Okay, let's just get into it. Alrighty. I am going to leave these little pins here. They're useful to know. Oh, Dolores says in my head you already had the other panel. No, I mean, realistically, in this time frame, I should have had the other panel done, but I've been sidetracked with, you know, work and just family stuff and, you know, things, work and stuff. And also my brain is just not being in a really creative space. So when I sit, I've been playing a dumb game on my laptop, or not laptop, iPad, just to sort of try and get it to stop for a moment. I'll zoom this back in just now that we've decided what we're doing. There we go. There's yarn everywhere. I don't like that. Move that pen. Alrighty. And buying stuff for my trip. Yes, buying stuff for my trip. I haven't bought much stuff this week. All I bought this week was collapsible squeezy bags and an extra travel-on bag. So, you know, not much really in the scheme of things. Super happy with the personal items bag I bought. It's just like an oversized, it's a really like oversized handbag style thing that will fit into the under the seat in front of me, which is great because I personally can't reach the overhead luggage. So I don't like to put things in there, especially if I'm traveling with my husband, don't care. I'm like, hey, oi, honey, get out and get my stuff for me. But when I'm traveling alone, I try not to put anything in that overhead baggage just because I have to always either get a steward or or a flight attendant or like a rando stranger to be like, hi, taller person than me. Could you pretty please get my stuff down for me? Thanks very much. So yeah, so I try not to do any of that. If at all possible. So I've got this really nifty little bag and it fits the iPad in there, but it can easily take my 17-inch laptop as well. Although it can't travel because it weighs 1 million kilos. I think it weighs like 4 kilos, but also it doesn't have any length of battery life. It has to be plugged into mains all the time. And it's bulky and heavy and it's basically a desktop now. It still functions, but it's basically a desktop. So, you know, it's just, it doesn't get to travel with me. It never really did travel. That one was always too big for traveling, but it's definitely not coming on this trip. That's for sure. So my little, so far, unless, you know, I win lottery and can go out and buy a new laptop, I'll be taking my little iPad Air that I've got attached to a Magic Keyboard that a friend of mine very generously gave me, which I still can't get over. But anyway, thank you very much for that. But yeah, so it's been like a really interesting couple of weeks. No, that's not going to happen. Bianca says maybe work will give you one. I don't think so. Because like I'm a freelancer. I'm not permanent, and I can understand when companies give their permanent staff equipment, but freelancers don't get given equipment. It's just not usually how it works. If freelancers are given equipment, it's unusual. So yeah. So I'm not expecting anything like that. I'm already shocked that they're even bringing me over for this event. So yeah. That's not on the table. Alrighty, let me keep going here. Let me look. Oh, absolutely. So I've got, if you guys want me to go and grab it, I can go and grab my little bag that I've got that I'm bringing. And in it, I plan on putting one compression bag with just an outfit in it, my asthma medication, my toothbrush because I'm gonna need to. I've got to freshen up. I'm not a. You know how some people can cope with furry mouth? I can't cope with furry mouth. It does my head in. So I will need to make sure that I have yeah, I'll need to I need to freshen up a little. So in my bag I'll have my iPad, which is already that's I think that's heading on to a kilo once I add. Let's see. I don't know if these scales will do a kilo. But let's see. Let's see if the scales will tell us how much the iPad weighs now that it's got its little case and pencil. No, it's too heavy. So that means I think these only go to 500 grams. Yeah, 500 grams. So yeah, we could weigh it all separately. So the little pencil is 18. The iPad is 494. And this guy he's over 500 grams, so I can't weigh this. But oh, he feels a bit heavier than the iPad. Yeah. So we're looking at least a kilo here, right? Let me just flip this back on. Oops, a kilo for that. And then I've got a bag, like it's a little compression bag that fits into the base of my handbag with just an outfit of clothing in it, just in case. I will have like little Ziploc bags with a couple of like disinfectant wet wipes to clean down the chair because I don't like that. And then I also have another little Ziploc bag with just a couple of facial wipes so I can give myself a freshen up. So I don't have to take the whole packets on the plane. Then I will also, I've got a little turtleneck pillow, which is super lightweight, so I can take that. Then let me think what else is going in that bag. Medications, my phone, my wallet, my passport, water bottle, that sort of thing. Let's have a look. How much carry-on are you allowed? So I've double checked, and it's very difficult for me to believe this, but get this. I'm allowed less carry-on on my international flight than my domestic flight, which just feels ridiculous to me. So I've got 7 kilos of carry-on, plus a personal items bag. So, but I'm only taking a personal items bag. I'm not taking, like I'm checking a suitcase. So, eye mask. Thank you. Yes, I do have an eye patchy thing for sleeping. Yes, Leanne, thank you. So yeah, I haven't weighed it. The bag itself is quite lightweight. And it can double as like if I have like, cause if I need to carry a laptop around cause someone's bringing me one to use, my bag will take that, no problem. So I can do that. And then, so it can be an oversized handbag as well. But it's like I've put what I want in it and I'm kind of looking at it going, what have I forgotten? What else do I need? Because it feels like some people like really overpack these bags and I'm just like, I've got a spare outfit of clothes, an extra couple of pairs, like extra couple sets of underwear, things like that. I've got a spot for my water bottle, which I'll refill at the airport. I've got my, little toiletries for the flight, plus my little medications bag. It just doesn't feel like I need to take that much, even though it's 18 hours. Like I don't have to take like a pile of snacks or anything, or a small project bag, like so basically something similar to this size. So I'm thinking like a skein of 4-ply, whatever I make, or a skein of lace weight in a little Ziploc bag like this. So just maybe even this one, just so that everything's together. The tissues, yes, they're already in my bag. That's probably why I don't think of it. I've got a little packet of tissues in there. Deb's off to sewing retreat on the weekend. Oh, that's so exciting. I can't wait. please take something warm. If this weather continues on, the mornings are going to be so cold. I know you love the cold mornings and you want a cold morning, but yes. All my electronics, yes, but all I'm taking electronic-wise is my iPad and my phone. And my headphones. That's the other thing, noise-cancelling headphones. I've got those. But I'm not taking any extra camera gear or anything like that. I'll be taking a tripod with an extra little tripod arm on it, but they can go in my carry-on because there's no batteries or anything involved in those, so they can do that. I mean, they could probably fit in my not carry-on, in my checked luggage. They could probably fit in my carry-on. But yeah, I'm not taking any. I'm not planning on vlogging or anything while I'm there. I don't need anything else like that. Game Widow says she's got special earplugs for flights. Look, my ears tend to be fine, although I've heard some really good things about those other things. Charging cables and adapters, yep, they go in, they're in a pocket. Like when I think of my iPad, I think like, and the thing to remember is, oh, and I also have a brick. So I'll have my brick, which that actually weighs a little bit. Thank you. So, but all of my devices charge by USB-C. So I've bought an adapter that actually just takes the USB plugs directly into it. It can take a brick as well, like the pins, but also it has 4 spots for USB, so I can charge my phone, my iPad, and my watch, all while charging something that needs the brick. So and plugged into the one plug. Not that I would charge them all at the same time, but you know, I could. And recharge my brick is probably what I would do as well. But yeah, it's just, yeah, I've got a list and I keep adding to it. But I have a technology bag as well. So my little technology bag will be coming too. But yeah, I've been hearing about these. They're called ear planes, and they're to help your ears adjust for flying. But usually if I've got noise cancelling headphones, I'm okay. Yeah, our plugs are different in Australia. They're different voltage and different style. So totally different plugs. So luckily I'm not taking anything that requires our ampage. So everything is just USB. So that makes it really easy. So I don't need to convert power. I just need to have an adapter plug. Yeah. But yeah, we don't just have different plugs, we have different power. So you guys have 110 volts and we have 240 volts. So we have to, if I wanted to bring like a hair straightener or something like that, I would need to either buy a converter, which they're really expensive, or you can now buy these hair straighteners that work on both. Because that's the thing, like I can use things that require 110 volts. Is it? Yeah, I can use it if it requires 110. No. Yeah, because it'll only draw the power it needs. But if it requires 240 and I plug it into a 110, it won't get the power it needs. I think that's what it works. Anyway, everything's USB. So it'll be fine. It'll be fine. So I've just got my iPad is USB-C, my phone is USB-C, my headphones are USB-C. Yeah. I think that's it. Oh, I caught up to the yarn bath. Yay for yarn bath. All right. Yeah, you've used it. See, my only concern is like I'd need to order them online, but I have very small inner ear holes. And so do I get the children's size? Like, I don't know. I don't know what to do about that. So I kind of just haven't done anything because I can adjust like with noise cancelling headphones is normally enough. So that is there. Is there anything worth getting duty free these days? I don't know. I was looking at that the other day. And like, you know, if I buy like booze or something over there, I'm limited to how much I can bring back for a start. I can only bring like a bottle or 2 back. But also like, do I want to deal with that in my luggage? Like, not really. I don't drink enough for it to be, do you know what I mean? It is cheaper to buy it for sure. Like, there's no denying that. What have I done here? That's correct. No, it's not. That one is correct. This one is not. I don't know how I do this every single time. It's never right. And I've got to, anyway. Oh, wait. No, that is correct. I didn't skip enough stitches. I was like thinking I skipped one stitch, but I actually skipped two. I need to skip two all the way across here, not skip one. Goodness me. Okay. 1, 2. It's amazing. It's amazing how actually choosing the correct number of stitches to skip where everything lines up. Shocking. And that's the thing. Like when I go to New Zealand, sometimes I'll hit the duty free in Australia on the way in, and it's still cheaper if I bought it overseas for sure. I don't wear perfume. Chintelle says, are there any perfumes duty free? I don't wear perfume at all. It's too high a risk to set something off. I have not found. I really struggle to find one that doesn't set off my asthma or skin irritation. They're both. The problem is they're highly perfumed. So yeah, so I tend to just avoid perfume. I did one year get Abby some really nice skincare stuff from Lancome, duty free. It was definitely less expensive than if I had have paid, like full store prices for it, but it was not like inexpensive. But that also wasn't the goal. I wanted to get her a special treat. Game Widow says, I'm still using the giant bottle of Contro my brother brought through duty free. Because what is it? Like the limit to bring it back in the country, I think I'm only allowed to have, is it 1.1 litres? I think that's the limit anyway. You can't bring in much. So there's no real point in dealing with it. One thing I will be bringing home is yarn. I plan on hitting these yarn stores and going hard there. Maybe not hard, but I definitely want to bring home a yarny souvenir. And I may have to buy myself a new hook or something while I'm there, depending on what happens with customs, or security, I should say, more so than customs. So yeah, as long as I buy, dyed yarns, then they've been washed and processed, I'll have no problems bringing them back to Australia. So I will be taking additional compression cubes to bring the yarn home in, just in case I have more than I anticipated, because it could happen. It could happen. So I have a couple of stores that I want to hit. A couple of them are curiosity things. So I want to check out Joann's and Michael's, because there is both not too far from the from where I'm staying. So all within like a half an hour drive. So I may have to fork out for some Ubers around while I'm venturing. Or there is like a tram line, or like a above like a little rail system. So maybe I can find out about that. I don't know. But what have I done here? Oh, okay. That's just me being stupid. I put it in the right spot, but just the wrong part of the repeat. Good job, Chantelle. Well done. You're such a pro. Which airline? I'm flying Qantas. All the way. Kerry says, I finished my lace. It's time for a banana and a Barocca. Oh my gosh. Yes, get that vitamin B. So funny. Make sure you drink plenty of water after your Barocca, though. Baroccas are high in salt. And depending on your situation, sometimes you need that extra water to help. You sound like Abby then. Oh my gosh. Don't tell her that. The poor thing. She thinks she's growing up and not becoming a mini-me. She's totally becoming a mini-me. I'm sorry, Abs. Nothing I can do about that. Oh, I did an extra one in there. That's cool. I'll just skip it. Well done. Good job. So Yeah, our Abby's having the time of her life down in down where she is. She has now bought skis. Today they are being waxed and treated with whatever it is that they need to be treated to ski great. Um, so she is pretty chuffed and over the moon. She's planning on skiing Saturday. So she will be testing out her new skis. Well, new to her skis, they're not brand new. Hopefully they do great and she does not do Smash Mountain, as we lovingly call it here, when she face plants into the ice and ends up not being able to see for 2 days. Oh, wow. Oh, Bub's back because she had to rescue her dogs from a large black-headed python. Oh, wow. Francis says, I am swatching for my next jumper, determined this one will fit. Gosh, yeah, I tend to, like, Francis, I saw your plight and I had a similar problem a few years back where I would always make everything too small or way too big. Generally, quite often, it was just so much too big that I remember I hand spun wool. I hand spun like a kilo of eggshell bunny blends. It was like the Angarino and something else. What was it? It was anyway, a kilo of eggshell bunny stuff. I wanted to make myself a warm, squishy, slightly oversized sweater, right? It was so enormous that it went to my knees and the arm holes started at my elbows. I overestimated how big I was, and I was getting gauge and I was making it like, you know, the size that I thought I needed. I didn't take measurements. I went, oh yeah, I'm a 4XL. For a start, the sizes are different in different countries, which at that stage I didn't know that. And so I only needed, like, even then I only needed the 3XL, not the 4. And just dropping it back to Australian sizings. But then on top of that, I actually wasn't a 3XL. I was an XL. So it was just this oversized. I had to frog the whole damn thing because I wasn't going to waste that yarn. So I had to frog the whole thing. And I didn't make anything garment wise for a long time because it was so disheartening. And so I'm very happy to see you just jumping straight back on the horse and having another go. Get help in the group, ask questions. A lot of the ladies here have made so many garments. That's why I come and ask for help as well, because I'm still not confident with making garments because of my, mistakes in the past. What the heck have I done there? I've just put way too many stitches. I'm tempted to pull it back because all this extra yarn. I'm going to pull it back because I've got like 3 stitches instead of 2 all the way along here. I've got way too many stitches and I don't want to risk wasting the yarn. So I'm pulling back. Maybe that's why I'd started pulling back already, because it was pulled back to a point. I want to drop this down a row. Because maybe that was why I was pulling it back. I thought maybe it was just an accident. No, it was just pulled because it was of how it was sitting. But there's just way too many stitches there. That's just crazy talk. Let me just have a look and see how far I need to go. I'm glad I didn't pull all the way out because these are all good so far. I must have gotten to a point and just went off on my own little merry way and just did whatevers, because it got real janky there for a bit. All right, we'll just keep going from here. So these are all okay. But yeah, I had like 2 and 3 extra stitches in each repeat. Dogs are okay and contained. Oh, good. I've decided to stick the original and turn it into a cardigan. Oh, awesome. You can add some extra width with a button band, or even if you don't make buttons, but you know, the band. My cousin bought a variety of yarns while she was away on holidays, mailed it home in a box the day before she flew back. She said it was costly, but less hassle than organizing extra luggage. I don't plan on buying that much extra, but in saying that, I am only taking a half-filled suitcase with me. So I will have space in my suitcase, and I'll take compression bags. So it'll pack it down a bit. I don't intend to go crazy. I just want to grab some, you know, some stuff. I don't really need any yarn, but there's definitely things that I would like to have a look at that that, you know, I can't get here. Following the same advice, still following the same bottom up pattern, but taking advice from a friend at my craft group who's an expert knitter. Okay, awesome. Bubs says the snake will be going on its merry way and continuing on with its job. This is my late note. Sorry I didn't sleep very well last night, so slept in this morning. Oh, a little late note. That's cool. That's cool. I would have liked to have slept in this morning because it was so cold. Even Louis didn't want to get out of bed, honestly. Like, normally I get up, I leave the room, and he just follows straight behind me. I came back in later to get dressed, and he was still in the bed just looking at me like, I really don't want to get up, Mum. I really don't want to get up. But now he's sitting here. I have got my other window here open a bit, which will be messing with my lighting just a little, but it's letting a little bit more heat into the room because the sun's coming through the glass. So with the heater off in here, I really need that. So, and then Louis is pretty close to where the sunspot is there. I'm surprised he hasn't wiggled over to it. His little face is shaking. Do you need a blanket, buddy? I've got a little blanket. I've got a little blanket you could have. Hey, are you a coldy dog? It's a bit covered in cat hair. But I don't think you'll mind. Hey, there you go. He's a coldy dog. So cute, Louis. He was cold. I wasn't sure if you were cold or if you were dreaming. Francis says the weather guy the other night said it's not actually colder than usual this year. It's just the last couple of years have been very mild. Look, I just want to say that's not the case in Queensland. Yes, we historically have pretty mild winters in Queensland. Like, I don't remember a winter with this many days where I start the day and it's down at 1 degree. I definitely remember starting the day at 4 or 5 degrees a lot, but I don't remember starting the day at 1 degree feels like negatives. Not here, not in 15 years. No, it's longer than that now. It's 17 years. So yeah, I think that it's bitterly cold here at the moment, and our house is not good for it. Cheryl Lacemaker is here. Yeah, I would say we haven't had a winter like this for a long time, Leanne. Yeah, for years. It's years. Well, he's not fighting the blanket, you guys. So, you know, like, I thought he would be like, because if he doesn't want the blanket, he just stands up and moves around and then lays on it. But he obviously did want it because he's just sort of gotten himself comfy and uncurled himself a little. So we'll see. He might change his mind in a couple of minutes. He might warm up enough and yeah. Travel Around Susie says, that's why I started van life, so I can just follow the warmer weather. Oh, goodness me. That'd be nice, wouldn't it? Well, I'm going to go and follow the warmer weather. I'm going to Dallas, Texas for a week. So that should be warm. From what I hear, I'm going to be going, oh my gosh. So So I'm, are you right, Lou? From what I'm hearing, it's going to be quite warm. So I'm only taking lightweight cotton and linen clothing. I'll take, because I'll actually take this hoodie, because I'll be wearing it on the plane, but it'll be my sleeping hoodie. So I will have something just in case there's a cool night. But for the most part, I will just have t-shirts and linen pants. So all cotton and linen. And this top. My singlet that I'm planning to wear this over is not. I think it's definitely polyester or some such. I am looking around for a cotton singlet to wear under it. I do have a black cotton singlet, but it's not as light. It's actually quite heavy. So I'm going to keep looking, but it is definitely all lightweight luggage for me, which is good. Yeah, that's right. You also don't want to snap freeze when you step off the plane in Sydney. Yeah, so the plan is I've got my jacket, I've got my thicker pants, so they're for travel days. Hey, I'll have my fan. We could find the Joannes. Oh my gosh, travel around Susie. That sounds awesome. Yeah, like I've looked on the maps. There's actually a ton of craft stores in Dallas. So I found a few that are closest to Irving, which is where I'll be staying. And there's a few things. Oh, for those that don't know, right, I'm going to Dallas, Texas for a YouTube creator conference. It's called Vid Summit. Basically, if you are a YouTube creator and you take YouTube seriously, this is the conference that you should go to. If you can. It's not cheap. The tickets to the conference itself are around $1,000 US. Then you need, like for me, airfares from Australia, accommodation while you're there. Now, I'm very lucky. I've just started a new job, and as part of that job, I need to attend the conference, so they're covering everything. So I know I'm ridiculously and exceptionally lucky. So I'll be working at the conference. My time will not be my own so much. I will have time before and after the conference though, because I'm sticking around for an extra couple of days, just so I've got time to have a little look around and see something other than the conference center, and my hotel room. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. And Susie's going to be at the conference. So, because Susie has her channel. So if you are interested in van life, you need to go and check that out too. So, the van life thing, look, my biggest struggle with van life, right, is where do you fit the yarn? Because I'm looking at my yarn stash and I couldn't fit that in a van at the moment. Just my yarn stash alone, not including anywhere to sleep or bed or shoes or, food or ways to cook the food, just the yarn stash. So I would have to, I don't know what I'd do, because it's like not taking yarn is not an option. Like, why go? Seriously, why do it if you can't take yarn? But no, definitely would need to condense down my stash a little. Oh, you warming up there, big man? You pushing your blanket down? Good job. Yes, keep going. So yeah, definitely. I've always been perplexed about that. When you say working, does that mean manning a booth, attending seminars, or just networking? So far as I'm aware, I will be looking after sponsors. So I will be upstairs in an area that's a little bit away from most of the stuff. So I have been told I will be able to attend a couple of the talks, which is really good. And there's a lot of like events and parties and things that I'll be attending most of those. So because they aren't during the actual conference hours. But during the conference hours, I'll be upstairs manning this it's like a green room space where the sponsors and speakers can go just to sort of kick back and settle down a little and just have a few moments to themselves before they have to, go and chat with peoples. I definitely can see the space. I definitely can see that the space is necessary. I would need that space for sure. The Lone Wanderers. Yeah, I'm with you. You definitely need somewhere to go to the toilet if you're doing the van life for sure. For sure. Welcome to the chat. Allison says, easy, attach a cargo pod on the roof. I mean, you make the assumption that I can reach the roof of my car. I can't reach the roof of my Mazda CX-30. Like, I'm short. I would need like them step things and a ladder. Oh gosh. So yeah, it's definitely I would have to make some decisions. I mean, look, this is the thing. I could just have the yarn for a couple of projects, I think. But I would definitely need to have like a home base where things are stored so I can switch things around. I don't think I could be a true van lifer where everything is in the van and there is no home base. So yeah, I think if I had to do it, I could totally do it, right? Like, because sometimes needs must, right? I think that could happen. But if I got to do what I wanted to do, I would like to do van life, but have a home base. Like, even if it's a storage unit, to put stuff in and come back and switch things around. But that would mean I would need to come back to a home base. Travel Around Susie says many people have home bases. Okay. So it still counts if you have a home base. I just, yeah, I don't know. I like a bit of space in my living areas. I kind of look at I do like camping videos and stuff like that. And I look at that and I think that would be so nice to do. But then the reality is never as nice, right? Like, there's a bug, you can't just burn down your tent. Leanne says, I have new yarn on the way. There's a new yarn lease, English language, trying to use it. There's a new yarn release today. It's a wool bamboo blend. Oh, really? I'm not looking. I just had a yarn delivery come and it's larger than I anticipated. And now I have to try and find somewhere to put it all. Yeah, whoops. Knitspin Girl says my auntie and uncle raised 3 boys living in a caravan. Yeah, look, we lived in a caravan for a little while when I was young, when we were between houses. And that was fun, but I mean, it was temporary and we always knew it was temporary. It was never a permanent solution. But it had an annex. Like, it wasn't just sitting on the back of a car and you could just move at a day's notice. It was like all the kitchen area was out in the annex. Like, there was a little stove and everything out there. Yeah, I'm trying not to look, Leanne. Really, yeah. Francis says I have surprise fiber coming from a subscription. Well, that is nice. Love surprise subscriptions. Yeah, I'm really glad I did pull back this because I think I've definitely saved at least 5 stitches worth of yarn, which seems like not a lot, but when I'm worried about running out of yarn before I can finish my top, then, it's definitely encouraging. The Lone Wanderer's Bunker says, what gets me is the people who find they don't like van life and blame the influencers because they didn't do their own research and now they're stuck. Oh, yeah, like seriously, it is a huge undertaking. And it's the job of influencers to share the dream, right? But your dream is never the reality. Like, there's always something that's got to give, right? There's compromise. So you have to do your own research. You have to work out what your own deal breakers are, because what's a deal breaker for you might not be a deal breaker for the influencer. Do you know what I mean? Like everything, you've got to do your own research. Like, yeah, I agree with you. That does annoy me. It does. Um, but yeah, and that's why I don't think the van life would probably be for me, because I'm like, dude, I've got like a lot of yarn. And like I like multiple monitors for my computer setup. Like like where do I fit that? I can't even imagine living in a tiny home. Do you know what I mean? Like those tiny homes are just like, where you got to use a ladder to get up to a bed. I'm like, dude, I could get up there. I would never be able to get back down again. My knees just don't bend that way. Oh, hello. Are you being a stretchy boy now? You're such a cutie. Honestly, you're dangerous. Now I need to get into that stitch. Blip, blip. All right, flip. Let's see. Let's see how. I mean, I could count my stitches. Not gonna. Honestly, not gonna. I'll just jimmy it. Um, This is what Corey and I are looking at doing, living in a van for a while we're traveling. We want to get a motorhome. Well, I do. Well, and this is the thing. This is a trip, right? This is not going to be your existence. So you're still going to have your house when you come back. So, this is the difference. Like it could be a long trip. It could be a 6-month trip or a year-long trip, but it's not going to be like you're going to come back to your home at the end. There we go. My parents would live in a Winnebago for the winter months in Byron Bay and then head back to Victoria when it started warming up. I just get claustrophobia sitting in it. Yeah, I think this is the thing. Like for you, it's not on, but for them, they loved it. Like it's always going to come down to personal preferences. Travel Around Susie says the other things is what someone else can tolerate, someone else can't. No one is the same. There are pros and cons to everything in life. Absolutely. I mean, like I can't imagine living in an apartment again. Even though I lived in one for many years, I just prefer being able to step outside and stand on the grass. I don't need a lot of grass, but I definitely need to be able to just step outside. And like, I know that's a luxury these days to be able to have a yard, but I'm definitely in team, work out what are your deal breakers. And if your deal breakers are being hit at every turn, then that lifestyle just may not be for you. So, yeah. Corey's talked about selling the house and living in the van full time. Yeah, I don't think that's got to be a bigger discussion. I think that's not a quick decision, that one. How are you finding it? Mine had to. How are you finding it? Mine had to be a felt wash. Oh, okay. That's for Gamer Widows. I've always thought, yeah, me too, Dolores. I've always thought a tiny home required a large lined shed alongside for living space and craft storage space. Look, I think I could probably deal with the living, like as long as it was just me by myself. Like the second there's a couple situation, I don't know how tiny homes work, but if it was like by yourself, I think I could swing it with some extra storage for my craft supplies. The second there's a couple involved, you need to be able to have 2 separate indoor spaces for them to sit, right? Whether it's a bedroom or a living room or a dining table or whatever. Especially if one of them, because this is the reality for me. I work from home. So if I'm on calls, he still needs to be able to go and sit somewhere where he doesn't have to be silent. Like, I don't know. Yeah, it's a tricky one. It's a tricky one. I think that different things work for different people, and I'm really glad that we have lots of options. But blaming influencers because they showed you the dream and then the dream didn't work out how you wanted it, that's not on. Now, if an influencer goes on about how good a piece of equipment is and then the piece of equipment is a total dumpster fire, that's a different story. But if it's if it's just the dream, then you got to look at what your dream is. Sally says, I like the, see, I think my husband would love a tiny home because it would mean that I wouldn't be able to have any stuff, which would mean less clutter. I think he would love that. Game Winner says, I'm too messy for a tiny home. Yeah, I got too many crafts, man. Travel Around Susie says, I owned a home for around 25 years. I love that my backyard is always changing. Yeah. Leanne says, I'm not compact enough for a tiny home. In my 20s, maybe. Yeah, I don't think I'm compact enough for a tiny home. Except for like roof height wise. Because that's the other problem, like with tiny homes, they're like, utilize the wall space, utilize your roof height. And this is like, dude, like unless we're utilizing a ladder, there's no way I can reach anything if you put it up there. I am like 5'3". I'm not Simone Biles short, but I am short. Leanne says clutter equals character. Yeah, I think that look, this is what it boils down. I know some people are so happy and content living in their sort of minimalistic prize home style living, right? And they are so happy doing that. I would not be. It's just not for me. So we need to work out what is and isn't for our own selves. I think like it's just about for everything in life, right? We need to work out if something works for us. Like those that are knit only, crochet doesn't work for them, and we have to accept that. So, it's just one of those things. Travel Around Sue says, I'm 5'2", right there with you. I have a tall shelf. Oh my gosh. Do you have a ladder for your tall shelf? Oh wow. I don't think it's going to be a big change just for Corey. He snores and sleeps in a separate room. Yeah, that's going to make a van life living different. Like you could put up with it for a trip. I don't think I could live like that. Yeah, I agree with the Lone Wanderers here. When we live in smaller space, it made me motivated to stay clean and on track. Other people would get depressed and live in a tip. Look, I do find that when I am in a smaller space, like now this studio is smaller than my old one, I do work on keeping it tidier because I am in a much smaller space. And I do consciously keep an eye on that. My house, on the other hand, is a totally different story. I've got so much clutter around that, I just, because I like books, I like paper books. I've got bookshelves full of books. I've got craft and, like I've got shelving full of yarn. I've got a whole bookcase just full of craft books. And then, and they get dusty and I'm allergic to dust. So I like quite literally allergic to dust, not just I don't like dust, but like I get like I stop breathing and eyes go bright red and end up on medication and off to the hospital kind of allergic to dust, which is awkward because the only way to stop dust is by dusting. And I can only take certain antihistamines because I'm allergic to the others. And then, it's this thing. And so it's like, yes, I could help with the dust by having less stuff for the dust to settle on and just let it sit on the floor and then heat up with the vacuum. But then my house would echo and that would be sad. I don't like echoing. I don't want to live in an echo chamber. But yes, we all have to work out what works for us. I like creature comforts, a comfy chair, a good light, a big television, lots of screens, and put my feet up. I've got to have a footstool because my feet are so short they can't reach the ground. I have to have a footstool. We were looking at couches when we needed to replace our couch a few years back, and my husband kept, because he's just that bit taller than me, and he kept going, what about this one? What about this one? We won't need footstool for this one. And I'd sit on it and like, because we used to get recliners so that, feet would go up. You know, it's just all this, you know, like all these things that just to make even just relaxing comfortable. And I was like, okay, this is the deal. I'm happy to not have recliners, but if we don't have recliners, we need to have footstools. So it's your call. So now we have footstools all over the house. No recliners, but every chair has a footstool. Because it turned out, like we just bought one for me, but it turned out that my husband likes a footstool and my daughter likes a footstool. So now we have all these little footstools all around the place. It's quite kind of funny. Um, I have a cupboard of obsolete electronics. Well, my husband does, and I pointed to it when he complained about my new wheel. Yeah, I've got a crate of cables and cords. I should just put on like I should just put it on Facebook Marketplace and go, look, if anyone wants this, come and get it. You don't get to dig through it. You take the lot or you take none of it. Because there's those guys that strip the cords for the different metals and stuff like that. They could make something out of it, I suppose. I don't do any of that. And I've realized that particular crate of cords I haven't touched in at least 2 years. So therefore, I do not require any of those cords. And what'll happen is I'll be like, oh, hang on a second, pulling out an obsolete piece of technology to test it out for something. Oh, wait, the cord was in that crate. And that's why the crate is still here. But it's just one crate. It's not like a whole cupboard or anything. And the crate is under a table. Oh my gosh. I cannot sit on a stool. You know the stools with no backs at bars and stuff where they're like, you know, they've got like a table and they want you to have dinner there, but then they've got like a stool. I need someone to help me up onto the stool or a step ladder or something, especially if they don't put the little bar for you to hook your feet onto. And then my feet swing in the wind because I can't reach anything to put my feet on. And I can't even lean back. So I'm just sort of propped up on this thing. I look like a toddler. I hate that. Like stick a bar on it and put some, like stick a couple of foot bars on it and put a back on it, you cheapos. But yeah, it's just frustrating. Being short is annoying. The advantage is no one can look up your nose. And that's what my mum always told me. Like being short, it's not awesome, but at least no one can look up your nose. And I'm like, that's great, Mum, but I have to look up everyone's nose. So yeah, it's awesome. It's so good. Oh yeah, he's like chilling out now. He's uncurled. He's warming up. The sunspot's moving closer to him. He'll be happy in a second. He'll be very well. I think he's actually happy now. He does like having a little blanket. It's kind of funny. So Snowy, our old dog, she loved burrowing under blankets, but she would just do it on the couch or on our bed. Louis loves blankets everywhere, right? Like it's kind of funny when he gets up off the couch, his white blanket that he has there normally gets caught on his back because his tail holds it on, and so he drags the blanket around the house so it looks like he's got saddle blanket on. I mean, that's true, Bianca. At least pant legs and sleeves on things aren't too short, and I can adjust them, and I can go and pay someone to remove all the excess fabric. So there is that. You are right, because if I was too tall, then that wouldn't work. But yes, but apparently, what I'm thinking here, Bianca, is you just need to gain some weight because apparently all plus size girls are 7 feet tall. And I quite literally have to have 30 centimeters of fabric removed off jeans if I want to buy a pair of jeans. Because I'm plus sized and plus size girls are tall. I have to have 30 centimeters, which totally changes the shape of the jeans. So they never look right once all the fabric's gone because it totally changes the shape, and it bugs me. I just think that humans are all different shapes and sizes, and maybe the clothing companies should make some allowances for extra tall people, extra short people. You know, I think that would be nice. Um, my boys hug me and I get lost in the armpits. Yeah, my brothers are like that. They're both very tall. And it's not an awesome place for a hug. I can tell you that right now. Oh, glad I spotted that. That would have been annoying to find going back to. Only one of the stitches of the V stitch being there. That would be awkward. Explains why it was a bit of a stretch getting the other stitch over. Alrighty, we are going. This is working. We're firing along. We're nearly at the other end. Because this is I would say this is the harder of the spot. You should shop for clothes in the US. Apparently they cater to shorter people. Okay. I mean, I'd definitely be curious, especially like, it's summer over there. So there might be some summer gear that I could wear for our summer. So definitely worth a look if I can spot anything. I'll have a squizzy looks. Because Dallas is a fairly big city, so I'm sure there'll be at least one plus size clothing store there. See, in Australia, when you're over a certain size, which I am over, most stores don't keep that size in stock. I would say I can go to like Kmart, Big W, and maybe one or two other stores that are not specifically plus size clothing stores that keep the plus size clothing in stock. So yeah, it's definitely interesting buying clothing when you're plus size in Australia. Like I can go up to my nearest, like, what would the Hyperdome be classed as? It's not a mall. What is it? It's a shopping center. Food courts and cinemas and cafes and a million different shops, right? Variety stores, and there are literally 3 shops I can buy clothes in the entire place. So, yeah. And one is Big W, one is Kmart, and the other is Suzanne Grey. And that's only recently. Suzanne Grey used to make all their plus size people order online because while they had plus size clothing, they didn't have any of it in store. It's an undercover mall. Okay. Gabby says, I'm 5'3", my younger brother is 6'2". Yeah, my younger brother's Daniel is just over 6 foot. I'd say he's 6'1", and Luke's a bit on the shorter side. So I'm not sure if he would quite hit 6 foot yet, but he's definitely taller than me. Not that it's that hard to be taller than me. And my dad's 5'11.5" and he doesn't let us forget that half an inch because that puts him half an inch closer to 6 foot. It's kind of funny. We all laugh about that. Except for him. He doesn't laugh about that. That's very serious. It's very serious business. So yeah. An undercover mall. Okay. So are malls outdoors, are they? So Beanley Marketplace, even though they not Beanley Marketplace, Beanley Mall, which is, the other shopping centre, is that technically not a mall because it's undercover? I'm confused. I don't know the difference between. Oh, Louis, what did you hear? Did you hear Macy going up to her fruit bowl? I've realised that in my rush to come in and start the stream because I was running late, I've left my phone somewhere. I think it might be in my bedroom. I have no idea where it is. It's somewhere in the house. I will find it. Oh, look at poor Louis. It's a hard life being Louis the dog with his little blankie on a blankie on the floor. Tell you what, he'll be the first one to be like, okay, stream's over, put that heater back on. Yeah, my brother reminds me quite often that he's been taller than me since I was 4 and he was 2. Um, yeah, he doesn't let me forget it. Like, whatever. My brain's bigger. Alrighty, I'm going to have a drink in a second. We are just about at the end of this row of this crochet lacy top. If you are wondering where the pattern is, in the description, I've got my Ravelry projects linked. It is in there. I haven't linked the individual projects because I wasn't sure what I was going to work on today. So I just linked them all. Okay. Alrighty. That is that done. I think I would like some water. Bub says I'm 5'3.5". I bet you don't let anyone forget that extra half either, Bub. Knitspin says I'm 5'3 1/3". Gosh, there's a lot of shorties in this group. It's so nice. Definitely needed a drink. I was getting very parched. I woke up this morning with just a like, you know, when you've got that sore throat before a cold kind of thing. I'm like, don't you even start. Don't you even start. Like, I do not have time for this. I got too much stuff. We've got retreat in a couple of weeks, and then I'm off to the US for a week. Oh, yeah, except for Bianca. Bianca's very tall. Just remember, not short, just awesomely concentrated. That's so cool. Yeah, Nat's fairly short, fairly tall as well. Like, you know, compared to me. And Sally as well. Sally's also tall. Yeah, you are taller than me. Yeah. Um, yeah, we're all made a little different, but then we're all expected to fit into the same little square holes on planes. I'm obviously bitter about this. Um, just double checking this. Bear with. Alrighty. You ladies make me feel tall. I'm the shortest in my house at 5'7". Oh, well, I'm glad you feel tall. It's always nice to feel tall sometimes. The big thing that I always find really amusing, especially if you're meeting up with people who've only seen you on video before, because everybody sort of sets their cameras to eye height, we all think that that everyone's the same height as us because it's eye height, but it's not. Yeah, it's not the case. So I remembered meeting Nick Nimmin and just thinking, holy crap, he is so much taller than I thought. Oh. Um. Oh, Bianca says I love standing next to someone who is a lot taller so I can feel dainty for a change. Oh. Well, I can honestly say I never feel dainty. It's been see before Abby, who is considerably taller than me, before Abby grew up, I was the tallest of the women. My mum is 5'2" or 5'1". My grandma is 4'8". I was the tallest of the girls, and now Abby's generation, so her cousins, so my brother's kids and Abby, they're all the girls are well tall. Yeah. So Emily, my brother's daughter, she is so tall. She would be, I think she's about 5'10" off the top of my head. She's been taller than me since she was about 12. Um, Abby's a bit taller than me. I wouldn't say she's tons taller. She would. Um, yeah. It's just, perspective and really our heights don't matter except when we're trying to find clothing and reach things and I will say I'm one of those short people that will just walk up to the tall person at the supermarket and go, excuse me, hi. Um, I really need your help. Could you please pass that thing there? And they have to bend down and get it for me because I still can't reach it. Most of them are very nice about it because it's their plight as the tall person to be asked by the short people to reach things for them. I do remember one particular shopping trip. You know, when you're doing a shopping trip and you come across the same people, and you sort of do the nod as you spot them again and again in the aisle coming. They're doing the opposite way. And I remember not grabbing, but like asking this guy to pass something to me, and he did, and he was lovely about it. And then the next aisle, I'm standing there looking at something, and he just reaches over and pulls, and he's like, "Is this the one?" And I was just like, "Yes." He's like, "You need to shop with a tall person." I'm like, "I think I do, yeah." And yeah, it was just amusing because it was I was just sort of standing there deciding if I really wanted it enough to have to harass somebody to to get it, and he just like grabbed it and brought it down to my height for me. So it's very kind. Thank you, random tall dude. Oh, you did the aisle nod with Sigrid Thornton once? Oh my gosh, that's hilarious. Are you right, Louis? Big old groan there. Oh, Shannon says my grandmother was 5'2" and my grandfather was 6.2. That was such foot two, I should say, not point. That was such a cute couple. Yeah, it would have been adorable. Francis says I get the supermarket to do my shopping. Oh, I tried the Milk Run app and I have to say I like it. It was very useful, especially when I'm stuck at home with no car. To be able to just get somebody else to pick up a couple of things from me from the shop. So I was very grateful. You don't have Kmart in the US anymore? Okay. Oh my gosh, we have a friend who makes everyone feel short. He's 7'1". His partner is 4'11". I had some friends in Sydney, and the husband was 6'6", and the wife was like 5 foot or or high 4 foots, and it was all fun and games until she got pregnant and then had a ginormous baby. And I just remember her being all like, "That's it. That's the only one we're having. I can't do that again." Um, because it was just like this, like 10-pound baby out of this little tiny woman. And he was like joking around how in his family that baby's considered small, and she was just like, "Oh my god!" It's just something they didn't think of. We are getting closer to finishing the front or the back because the pieces are the same. This piece, the first piece, my brain makes it the front because I've been trying it on the front the whole time, just like double checking, trying it on, resting it upon me, looking in mirrors, trying to work out if it's long enough. What's Bianca's face for? The surprisey face. Vampires friends. Oh, yep. Gabby says, at work, I carry a foldable back scratcher that helps me get things out of my reach. We were actually talking the other day, like my husband and myself, because I used to have like a lot of these like things that had a trigger handle that was open and closed, a grabby stick. And I used to use it all the time for like getting like, we'd keep like extra boxes of cereal and paper towel and stuff on the top of the cabinets. And otherwise I have to get the ladder out, right? I have to go and get a step ladder and to reach them. Because he just puts them up there. But I have to go and get a ladder to get them back down again. Anyway, the other day he was like, do you have a grabby stick? And I was just like, no, Abby broke it. And he's like, how did she break it? I'm like, she was collecting cane toads with it. And then it snapped. And he was just like, oh, okay, so you have no grabby sticks? And I'm like, no. And I'm like, why? He's like, something fell down behind the couch and I didn't want to move the couch. So, yeah, I'm going to have to go and buy a new grabby stick. We used to have 3 of them. I don't know why. Another school friend was so tiny she would have to sit in a child's car restraint to drive according to the law. She married a 6-foot guy, 3 big baby boys. We were astounded. Yeah, yeah. It is definitely interesting how it all works. I've seen this TikTok guy who is a 7-foot plus, and he goes to the supermarket with a bird's eye view camera attached to his head to get everyone's reactions. Yeah, but are they reacting to the fact that he's tall, or are they reacting to the fact that he's got a camera strapped to his forehead? I mean, I'd probably react to that more than the height, just because I'm used to everyone being taller. I remember I went into it was a Kmart like years and years ago, and they just changed. They'd done a big store change around, and they were making it more open plan friendly, and I could see the tops of everything, and I was shocked because I'm just so used to not being able to see over things. And they had all the clothes just at clothes rack height. They got rid of that plan a couple like the next renovation, but yeah, it was like that for a little while. Yeah, Leanne. Leanne says, I use my cane, but it can be a bit dangerous getting heavy things down. I also almost brained myself getting a cast iron French pan down. All heavy things take up the bottom cupboard spaces. All the light things go up the top. Things that are not fragile, breakable, or could break me if they fall on me. So I've got cast iron Dutch oven, which I very rarely use, but it's there. But that's in a low cupboard so that it's not up so high where it's dangerous and heavy. I'm just trying to think, what is the heaviest thing I've got up the top storage? I can't think. What is currently the heaviest thing? It might be a tray, but that needs a ladder to get it down. So don't try and get that. It needs 2 hands. Yeah, it would show how dirty the tops of the shelves are. Oh, yes. And they would be bad. Oops, the third one before you go running off to the next repeat, Chantelle. You won't do it again? Good, good. Because that sounds scary. What have I done there? it's botched up. Oh, stink balls. What have I done? I did two, see, this guy should be here. That V-stitch should be there. I'm going to have to, I cannot fudge this. I'm going to have to pull all of that out. Oops. All of that back and then back a row to fix this up. Let me just double check I haven't destroyified in it, because that's look at that. That's definitely in the wrong place. It's not lining up to anything. Yep. Oh, far out. Travel around Susie said, I'm looking forward to meeting you and Nick, and Doug Houston's going to be there as well. So, and Dee, I believe, is going to be there. I'm not sure. Do you follow Daniel Batal? He's going as well. I think Andrew Cairns trying to get there. I'm not sure if he's confirmed or not yet, but he was mentioning that he was going to try and get there. Okay. So that's in the right place. This is, however, not. Look how fast it is to pull it all out. Like, we've just pulled all of this out. Let me just zoom out. Oh, wrong one. Zoom out a little. There we go. We've just pulled all that yarn out. No problem, Chantelle. Let's just pull it all out. Oops. Twitchy hands. There we go. All right, let's fix it again. Fix it again. This is the downside of not concentrating while you're working. So I did the right number of everything and then just dropped the wrong thing in and then fixed it up on the next round. So annoying. Just make sure I'm not just putting the same mistake into the different spot, because, you know, let me know in the chat if you've done that before. Pulled something out to fix it, and then when you've gone back and redone it, you did the exact same mistake again. I've definitely done that. Oh, no, Claire. All right, let me just heads down for a second. Try and catch it up. You're glad I did the voice. It doesn't work without the voice. Game Widows, can you also get them to let me know as well? Game Widows is asking, can someone tell me where the last week and a half went? I'm short some days. Yeah, me too. Me too. I've got another work job I've got to get done today. There is no way around it. And I'm just like, wait a second. What happened to last week? I did a pile of it last just the other day to get me like a week ahead so that I could get back up on top of it. And then it's just like, wait, no, they're all gone. I've got to remake them all. Oh, like seriously, it's been ridiculously cold here. Like, I'm not joking when I said it was what was the screenshot? It was like 1 degree feels like negative 0.5 here in Queensland, subtropics. And our house doesn't warm up very well. We've been having to keep the heaters on a lot. I am not looking forward to the electricity. So, you know, just really not looking forward to that. You know, it's always interesting when your cat, like Tibbles is an old man cat, right? But he now comes and stands on the end of the bed and just stands there and yells at you until you scoop up the blanket so he can come and lay, and you make a cocoon for him to lay in because his little old cat bones aren't coping with the cold, you know. And then you've got your dog who lives in a shirt for a start. He's got his little pajamas on. And if you take his pajamas off, he is not happy. So, hey, Thrifty Crochet, great to see you. Welcome to the channel. So yeah, it's just cold. Yeah. And like, it's not snow cold, right? Because my daughter, she's currently where it's snowing, and I'll message her and I'll be like, oh my God, Abby, can you believe the temperature here? And she'll be like, it's not that cold. It's not that cold. And I'm like, oh, I'm sorry that you're living at the snow right now, and so you can't grasp the concept. But if you were here, you would be freezing and complaining and refusing to get out of bed if you hadn't gone to live at the snow. I'm sure it's going to be slightly different when she comes back, at least for a little while she reacclimatizes. You need to crochet a kitty cocoon. I've been thinking about it. I've got some of the big chunky, it's the burnout baby, I think it is. And I was going to make him a cocoon out of that, but I really hate working with it. Like, and to make something like tight so it holds its shape, it hurts my hands. So I haven't gotten that far yet. I did give it a try. I found a pattern that I was happy with, but yeah, I've got to just suck it up and do it, right? So yes. Oh, I've just looked at the time, you guys. So what I'll do is I'll get to the end of the row and then I will say goodbye, because I've got all this yarn bath here and I don't want to just walk off and leave it. And, you know, because what happens is I end the stream, I go and grab some lunch, and then I get on with the rest of my day. You know, doing all the work I've got to do, getting everything ready. And I'll just walk away and I'll just leave this yarn bath right here. And then a cat, namely Macy, will come and chew it. And then I'll have ends I have to weave in. I should just shut the door. Actually, that would stop her from being able to do that. But if I can just get to the end of the row at least, that'll use up some of it. 1, 2, 3. So, Caffeinated Crafters is on tonight. If you are local in the Brisbane region, you can get yourself to Logan IKEA. Join us. We do not gatekeep. We do not gatekeep IKEA. Let me just double check it. You know, we've got that feeling when you're like, I swear I've done this wrong now. Kind of have. That's should be 1 stitch over. Needs to be there. There we go. Yeah. Oh, you missed Kmart. Time to go to bed. See you later. Travel around, Susie. Catch you next week. That one. We are getting there. We're getting there. I'm trying to make sure I just do it right? Not like last time where I obviously didn't do it right and I have to redo it now. So let's just make sure we get this right. You would think that being this far along in this top, I would stop doing that, but apparently not. Apparently, I have to botch every one of the rows with the shells. I don't understand why. I just do. It must be a thing where it's like, okay, that row's not complete until I've wrecked it and I have to redo it at least one more time. So, yeah. And into the top of the turning chain. All right, let me just have a quick look just to make sure I just haven't, you know, destroyified anything else. And all of the little, you know, shells are over the top of the existing shells. I should have done this before because sometimes just a quick look can show you when something's glaringly bodged. Like this. I didn't do a treble there. I did a single as the second stitch like a donkey. Unlike knitting, if I botched that, I could just drop it down to that one spot in the next row. Then, you know, with crochet, you've got to pull it all the way back. So there are pros and cons to both. With crochet, you've only got to worry about one live stitch at a time. With knitting, you've got to worry about all of the stitches at once. With crochet, if you make a mistake, you have to just rip it all the way back. Rip it, rip it, rip it. Bye, Vanfear. Say hi to Artzog. But with knitting, if I made a mistake the previous row down, obviously it depends on the row. I can't drop down everything. Like if I'm doing lots of lace or decreasing, I just tink back. But if it's just standard knitting, I can drop it down and fix it up usually. And as I said, depends. But at least there's that possibility. I tend to use a lot of lifelines in lace work so that if I have to rip it back, I only have to rip it back a section at a time. And it makes it easier to rip it back as well because you can just put your needles in. You can just sort it out. Put your needles in. Oh, you know what I want to try and use as a lifeline? I want to try and use some of my cable, my knitter's friend. It's been lovely hanging out. Bye, Dolores. Have an awesome day. I would have been finished if I hadn't have botched it up, but I was running a bit late, so I don't mind staying an extra few minutes while I fix up my stuckies. One more chain. And that goes in there. And then this goes in there. I think. Let me double check that. Yes. And that goes there. Nearly at the end of the row. All the way to the bottom of the jar. Come back here, little silk. Alrighty, here we go. Fingers are crossed that I actually get to call this one done. Would the cable be too thick? It could be. It could be. I mean, it's 2 millimeters, and if I'm working with, like, say, I mean, it might be too thick for lace weight, but I quite often don't knit lace in lace weight. I quite often knit it in 4-ply, and I think it would be fine with 4-ply. So yeah, I don't know. I'd have to check it. It would depend on the yarn. All right, that's that. Okay, I'm calling it. That's done. Put a pin in it. Okay. Oh, guys. All right. Thanks so much for coming in and hanging out while I redid the same row 14 times. But at least I have a discussion. Oh, now we can talk food. What's for lunch? I don't know what's for lunch. I have to go and have a look. There's nothing inspiring, but I'll see how it looks. I was like, I think there was something I was going to have, and I can't remember what it was, but I'll have to have a look. Anyway, I've got Turkish bread, so I might have something on that. Wow. Have an awesome one, and I'll see you all next time. Bye now.